everybody, we're in the craft corner today. I know I'm not actually fully on camera, and that the refrigerator is really loud now that I listen to it. Unfortunately, those are things we're just gonna have to deal with today because I guess I just don't have the patience to set up a different shot right now. But today we're gonna make these. I'm making these canvas like key hangers. I'm making two. One of them actually will be for keys that is going by my front door. And another one's actually going to be in the kitchen for hanging like measuring spoons off of. And hopefully that's going to be really cute. But yeah, it's going to be painted canvas with perler bead art on it. So, you know, you need canvas and perler beads are the melty beads, the things that end up looking like that. The nice little plasticky 8-bit crap. But yeah, so you're gonna need a canvas in the shape and size that you want. Paints, just acrylic paints in the colors that you want. Brushes and stuff. I'm gonna do some pretty full coverage stuff, and I'm really fond of this. Actually, the tiny paints, it actually screws right on top, so I'm a fan of the little roller, and also this screws onto the top, and it works great too. I'm a fan of those. They're like $8 for a pack of one like roller and two of the wedge ones. And then you're gonna need cup hooks, because that's what you're going to hang your keys or various items on. And you will also need perler beads and pegboards, which managed to defy my every attempt to organize them. It's getting really frustrating with the beads, y'all. Oh, and a thumbtack is going to come in handy, just so you're aware. At the stage in which we are putting on the cup hooks. So that's everything you need to start. We're going to move on to the first step, which is painting our canvas. So I'm not like super set up for videoing in this space right now. We're going through some learning pains, and I apologize for that. I just want to show you at this point in time that these rollers really do work, and they're actually pretty good little devices. So what you want first is obviously something to protect your space. I'm using this cut up cardboard box because I don't have any spare paper lying around. I would usually use paper though. So with these little roller brushes, you take the, these are 2-ounce paints. You take the 2-ounce paint, or if it's bigger but it still has the same size of top there, it should still fit. But this is pretty much designed specifically for these. Shake it up, pull off your top, screw it on, and you squeeze it a little bit so that it is coming out there. Whoops, see? Protect your surface. And then literally just roller it on and give it a light squeeze when it's sort of drying out. It is just like the sponges that you use to paint walls and stuff, the nice roller walls, but instead of rolling it through a tub of paint, you are actually just applying it directly from the bottle as you roll. Apparently it's a little squeaky. I didn't remember it being squeaky. And I'm using fairly cheap paint, so I'm probably gonna have to do 2 coats. And I am gonna also do the sides. And there you go. Really amazing coverage very quickly. I was skeptical of the roller, I really was, but I used it actually. I made a large seating sign, you know, the like, pick a seat, not a side, you're loved by both the groom and bride kind of sign for a wedding in January, and I used that to do, it was a very large canvas, I used that to do it, and it was a godsend. I would not have gotten the even coverage at all without it. All right, and then we set that to the side. We'll do a second coat, And then I'm actually going to do some accents in purple, and I'll go ahead and just show you what I'm doing with that one. So I'll let you know this one is going to be, I'm going to put an SNES controller on it, and it's going to have some like purple painted accents behind that. So that's the general look I'm going for at the end of this. Okay, I have all the layers of gray that I want, and I'm going for some like purple splotchy stuff here. So we're just gonna experiment with that. Yeah. Oh crap. This paint is far too watery. Don't know how it got that way, but it is. Yeah, so one of the major problems being here, apparently, this is just water in a darn thing. Oh. I completely regret this now. I'm gonna try a for real splatter here. Yeah, should have done that all along. Just got some on me, yay! That means I probably got it on something I didn't want it on too. Yeah, I definitely should have started like this. Oh well. It's art, who cares? Nobody care. Nobody care, everybody fuck up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with that because I still like it better. I still like it better than trying to... Yeah, so this has been experiments in both success and failure with Labby Dragon. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that. I should have started with the genuine splatter technique. I was trying to avoid that. I wanted more intentionally placed splatters, but it turns out the less intentional stuff looks a lot better. My bad. Okay, my cat is joining us. She's pouting because I'm using the table. We're moving on to the part where we're actually making the perler piece that we are going to affix to the canvas. I have my pattern pulled up here on Pinterest. I will link to this in the description because I try to link to everything I use that wasn't made exclusively by me. It looks like it's on friendshipbracelets.net, so I don't know who made it without clicking on that link. But I just need the picture right now. I'm actually going to modify this as I go because it's not exactly what I want, but it's like the size and roughly the shape. Like I'm gonna do the version of the controller with the purple buttons because that's what I remember from growing up. But you got your square grid pattern of whatever you want to do. As you can see down there, there's so many possibilities that you can go out and find on the internet, or you can take the game sprites and copy them out yourself, or just build anything that's built on a grid. Alright, now down here I have my Perler pegboards. I probably don't need both of these, but I just wanted to show you how they make these. They connect like this. This is Perler brand. There is another brand of these beads that melt together when you iron them called Hama. There's probably more brands than that, but those are the two major brands that I know of. I almost exclusively use Perler because it's all that they sell in most of the craft stores. And I like to use things I don't have to wait for. I don't like waiting for shipping, but Hama is widely available online. Both of these are available. I've heard that mixing the two types of beads isn't great because their plastic formulations are slightly different, but we're not doing that today. I am just using Perler. So going back to my pattern, I am gonna count off my top row. I'm actually not using this black outline. I'm gonna make that just also gray. But you wanna count off your first row. So it looks like my first row is 27 beads across. So I'm gonna go back to my pegboard, and I'm gonna start in enough to have the further of the curve that I need there. which I think is, counting it, it's 4, so I need to be at least 4 in. I like to go 1 extra in. So I will actually go on the 6th in. And I'm gonna go 2 down from the top, because I just like to give myself a little bit of room. And then I'm just gonna set them out. Some people do these with tweezers. The tweezers just really feel like they get in my way. Looks like I actually do need a second board, just barely. So you just go on like this, doing row by row or color by color, whatever is comfortable for you. So this stuff is pretty tedious. This is where I am after about 15 minutes. I tend to do all the major features first and then fill in. Like I said before though, row by row or color by color, whatever you end up taking a liking to. As long as you're counting out and making sure things are the right space away from each other. But yes, it is really tedious, and that's why I'm not showing you just every single second of this. So I'll see you again when this is done. So we're at the ironing phase, and as per the instructions that come with sets of perler beads and stuff, my iron is preheated to my middle heat. My highest number is 6, so my middle heat is 3. And I have the little parchment paper that comes in the kits. And as per these instructions, you put the paper over your finished piece and gently iron for 10 to 20 seconds. It says ironing in circular motions. You absolutely want to go slow, use very low heat. I've absolutely ruined at least two of these pegboards. I warped the crap out of them by overheating my pieces. I have one of those lovely irons that has a function to tell you that you left it laying down. That's why it's screaming at me. You really just want to go just until your beads are melted enough to connect and all stick together. This is when it can be really good to have an iron that you know really well and you know where the hot spot is. So you can choose to strategically use it or not use it. I swear it says like 10 to 20 seconds, but it's never really that short. Getting there. The stuff on the edges is not melting as much as I would like. And I'm really afraid that, like, on camera, I am going to warp one of my last two pegboards. It would be such a Labby Dragon thing to happen. I know there is a method some people do where they tape it together so that they have less risk of melting their pegboards. But I don't even have any painter's tape right now, so there's that. Some people also outline their pieces entirely with the clear beads that they intend to cut off. It gives squarer edges and can also give your stuff something to stick to, the stepped pieces on the end and whatnot that never seem to want to mix. So I actually had a complete disaster, but I mostly fixed it. I'm having a little difficulty getting connections along some of the fault lines where my stuff fell apart. But here I am at step 2. Because in the method I usually do, I also iron the back side of my perler pieces. This one's definitely going to need it because it is not wanting to stay together for shit. And at this point, you can just iron the crap out of it. A lot of people like to iron them super duper flat. I like to just make sure that it's not going to fall apart. That's really my main goal, because I always forget how much of a pain in my rear end this stuff is, but it's always a hassle. Alright, I'm pretty sure I have that side ironed to death. I'm going to flip this because obviously we all know I'm going to let it cool for a second before I flip it because it is very malleable right now. Alright, giving that a second. I'm going to flip it over because this is the side that's actually going to be what I want facing out. Yeah. It's pretty ironed already, but I'm going to iron the crap out of it some more. Some people iron all the way until the holes close up through the entire piece. I have never quite had that patience. I mean, they usually turn up the heat, but I've just still never had the patience. I don't have the patience for these perler beads in general. If I could just rack them and someone else iron them, that would be the dream come true. It just seems like the dark gray beads are really melting at a much quicker rate than any of the light gray beads or even the black beads, honestly. Alright, yeah, that seems about what I'm gonna accept. I'm gonna get it a little hot again. And then I'm actually gonna use the flat side of my little DIY ironing board. And I'm just gonna shove it under there in the hopes that it cools very, very flat. And we'll see what happens. I don't have luck with getting these flat at all. So now we come to attaching our piece. It turned out really, really flat. That's the flattest I've ever gotten one. That's gonna be what I'm gonna do every time. And I'm gonna fix it at a nice little jaunty angle amongst all my weird splotches. We're just gonna do that with regular old hot glue. In the meantime, though, I am going to mark out where I am gonna put these hooks in. So my canvas, I have a 10-inch wide canvas, and there is this nice little very narrow amount of wooden frame there. And I know I want one at center. So right at my 5-inch mark. I think one at the 3-inch mark and one at the 1-inch mark. So that is 2 inches apart starting from the middle. And then just the same pattern on the other side. Break off the lead into the canvas, that's fine. Whatever. It happens. But there I am. And I'll have little marks for that. Mostly just little indentations. I think I got that a little off kilter. My stuff on my left is a little higher than my stuff on the right. But oh well. And again, I'm just gonna set this to the side. We're just gonna do, again, while we're waiting for that hot glue to heat up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a thumbtack and I'm basically gonna pre-drill, use it to pre-drill a hole in the wood, because it's not a super firm wood, so it actually goes in really easy, but it does help get the hook in there to just start the hole a little bit. And there we go. I have all 5 of those holes pre-made. I'm gonna hold off on actually screwing the hooks in until I have glued down my Perler piece. If you wanted to make this, rather than a key hanger, into maybe like a jewelry holder, I make jewelry holders where I put the hooks in the same positions along the bottom so that you can just, sorry, I thought you could see that there. You could just hang it on the wall and then you just hang jewelry off of it. But with the keys, I decided to go ahead and put it off the front. I don't know if that's going to make a difference or have not mattered at all. That's just how I decided to do it. Alright, I think the glue gun is hot enough for this, and I am going to be very careful because the glue might well come through the holes at me. Gonna just healthy dose of straight up hot glue. Get that set down fast, and I was right. Some of that came right up at me. But there we go, all nice and affixed, and since it's just a wall hanging, I'm not going to try to do anything more secure than what I've done. I'm going to unplug my glue gun and let that start to cool down. And then I'm going to take the hooks. They have little screw ends. And these are just like cup hooks I bought at the hardware store. And you just take your pre-drilled spot and start twisting it in. Being very careful because the canvas wood, or at least the wood on these canvases, because I do buy cheap canvases, is not of like the superest quality. It's a little flimsy for wood anyway. So it can be very easy to get your hooks going in a little too sideways. So you just gotta go, make sure that's still on camera. Hopefully, y'all are probably just seeing my elbows. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's see if you can see me screwing this in a little better from there. I have a feeling my shoulder was in the last shot. And this is, you don't have to do them all the way across. You could do maybe just 3. And there is, on this side, there is a narrower amount of wood to work with, whereas when you go in from the bottom, all of this is viable space. And here we have it, a completed perler bead on canvas key hanger. All I gotta do now is just hang it up on the wall in over the table that's right in the entryway. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, and I will try to answer them the best I can. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.